The db2cf exp or connectivity configuration export command comes in two basic flavors: backup and maintain. These will serve two different purposes. The backup is basically going to go gather everything you need about connectivity. And you would think that means I just need to know what catalog nodes and databases I have. But that's not true. You need ODBC CLI info. There are various settings in the db2 set command. There are various connectivity settings in the database manager command and listing. And when I issue the backup, it doesn't just selectively pull what it needs out of, let's say, a db2 set-all or a get dbm cfg. It gathers everything. So it makes it easy one-stop shopping to create one file to move over. If you're doing maintain, it's just going to get what you need for the nodes and databases. This would make it very easy if you were going to do something like catalog a database on multiple application servers. It's going to get rid of a few commands right off the bat. For example, if I'm going to do something major like a db2 upgrade, these are three commands that I would issue right off the bat, just so I can store everything I need for recovery in one area. And it gives me just a single file that I can use with the import command later, the db2cf, and then it's imp, but you just tack on your file name. There is nothing special or a switch after that that you need to type like you do in the export command. Alright, let's play with the command a little bit, shall we? Let's take a look first at what is exported. Well, let's go back even further. What's on my system? Let's take a look and see what nodes are here. db2 list node directory. Alright, we have one remote node cataloged that's somewhere else. Let's take a look at what our databases look like. db2 list database directory. Alright, we get a couple here. The ones that say indirect as an entry type, that's a hint that they are local on this server. However, the devdb is remote. That's linked to a box somewhere else through our node. So let's see what's exported. Let's start with the backup command. So let's do db2cf exp, and we're going to call this backup.exp because I can't come up with really cool names, so we'll use the obvious, and then backup. Let's see if it's there. Sure. Alright, now let's do the same command. We are going to do the maintain, and we'll see the difference between the two. db2cf exp, we'll call it maint.exp, and maintain. Cool. What do we got? Alright, let's take a look at the backup one first. I'm just going to more it. So this is covering a lot. Couple things. First of all, notice that we have some of the settings that we would use for the db2 set command. We also have our dbm config. And one thing that I will point out here that it looks like it's doing, but I've seen notes that say otherwise, is here, for example, instead of setting max cord agents to 200, it's setting it to automatic 200, which means set it to 200 now and then change it as you need to. I have seen some tech notes that says you may or may not need to add this automatic back into the actual file. But it looks like it got everything we need for the dbm config, and as we go down we can start to see the nodes. Right here we have devbox, which we need to do. Hey, and look, here's a local database for the test DB, and here is the devdb that's remote. So it has a bunch of information for us. Now how does that compare to what we got with the maintain? I'm actually going to VI this because we're going to play with it. Well, a lot of the extra stuff isn't there, right? The db2 set information, the dbm, all that's gone. We are strictly down to what nodes and databases are cataloged. And if you take a look at this, you're going to see that it's both local and remote. So to show you the import, let's say we want to recover just the remotes. So I'm actually going to edit this file and I'm going to delete things because I'm a rebel here. All right, so testdb is local. We don't need that. We'll just say that's gone. I mean, we don't need to recover that. We're going to keep the node for devbox because that's the remote one. And we are going to keep the database entry for devbox and devdb, and then we'll get rid of sample. Cool. Now let's go ahead and get rid of what we had cataloged. So db2 list node directory, and we've got devbox. Let's uncatalog it. db2 uncatalog node devbox. Gone. All right, and db2 list database directory, and let's kill the devdb. db2 uncatalog database devdb. Now notice this is different than a drop. We would be dropping locally, but this is remote, so we're uncataloging it. It's gone. We're going to issue a terminate to make sure everything takes effect. And let's make sure it looks like we expect. If I can type. There we go. It's missing there. db2 list database directory. And our remotely cataloged database is missing. So let's put it back. I'm not going to deal with the backup.exp because it's the same concept and we're just using a quick example here. So to replace everything that's missing, we're going to do db2 cf imp for import and then just the file name, in this case the main file. And nothing, no return code, anything. Well, heck, did that work? Yeah, take a look. db2 list node directory. There we go. And is our database back? db2 list database directory. There we go. Now it's back, devdb. So you've seen what we can do to export and you see how we can import. It's pretty easy to use. Before I wrap this up, I am going to say one thing that I have learned from talking to others. I have asked other people's experience with this tool, and occasionally I get some grumbling of, oh, it didn't really work. Oh, hey, it would be nice if it gathered everything, but it was missing things. And I have found through the grapevine that there are a few APARs around this, which may cause it to burp, but it seems to be only Windows issues. For Linux and Unix, I really haven't had any negative feedback there. So if you're using this for Windows, be a little cautious. All right, that covers it. You've learned a little known command that actually can be very useful. And hopefully I will see you next time.